Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm with The Place for Mom. Today, I'm going to walk you through the most common ways families cover senior living expenses so that you know what your options are for covering the cost of care. Now, I'm only covering the top 5 ways families cover the cost of care, but no, there are so many more. The first, and maybe the most obvious way to pay for senior care, is to use personal funds. Personal funds include checking and savings accounts, investments, retirement accounts, and pensions. If your senior loved one has their own income through a part-time job or Social Security, you can also use that money to pay for care. Something a lot of families forget is that if personal income or savings is used to cover medical care services within a senior living community, you or your loved one may be eligible for specific tax deductions. These deductions can save you a lot on senior care costs, so make sure you keep that in mind throughout the year, especially when you're filing your taxes. The second payment method a lot of families use is insurance. Always check whether your loved one's insurance policy may offset any of their care costs. Sometimes we see that families aren't aware that their loved one's insurance will cover some of their senior living expenses, and they end up paying more than they need to. You'll first want to see if your loved one has long-term care insurance, also called senior care insurance. In most cases, these policies help with health and personal care costs, making them more applicable to assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing facilities than independent living. Generally, seniors can use their long-term care benefits when they require help with 2 or more activities of daily living, what we call ADLs, such as bathing, toileting, or getting dressed, or when a doctor has determined they're experiencing cognitive impairment. You'll also want to check in on your loved one's life insurance policy. This may come as a surprise, but in cases where older adults need to free up money for senior living, life insurance policies can serve as a reliable and substantial cash reserve. Your loved one can sell the policy, surrender it in exchange for cash value, take out a loan and then pay the money back into the insurance fund, or your loved one can set up what's called a living benefit program, which allows seniors to use some life insurance funds while preserving the remainder for family members. Before making any decision regarding a loved one's life insurance policy, make sure you consult the insurance company to understand specific regulations and details. The third payment method you can use for senior care is selling assets. If your loved one is moving from their home to a community, instead of renting out their home or gifting it to another family member, selling the home can give your loved one a large nest egg to cover senior living expenses. You can even find a local senior real estate specialist by browsing the database of the National Association of Realtors. While a home is the most common asset sold to pay for senior care, there are other items of value, such as vehicles, you could consider selling. The fourth way you may be able to cover senior care costs is to use a health savings account, or HSA. If your loved one has an HSA, they can withdraw money tax-free and use it for qualified healthcare expenses. Qualified healthcare expenses include prescriptions, co-pays, in-home caregiver services, and some long-term care costs if they have a letter of medical necessity, or LMN, from their doctor, verifying their need for long-term care. If your senior loved one is claimed as your dependent, your own HSA may even be able to cover some of their care costs. The fifth payment method you should know about is veterans benefits. So many seniors and their families are unaware that they're eligible for veterans benefits or that they can be used to cover some of the costs associated with senior care. We have 2 videos on the most commonly used veterans benefits, so be sure to check those out. They're linked in the description. A veteran's pension, aid in attendance, and housebound benefits can provide financial support for veterans and their spouses and can help offset some of their care costs both at home and in a senior living community. For more information on eligibility and the type of costs covered by these benefits, visit va.gov. Those are 5 of the most common ways families pay for senior care. If you'd like to explore even more options, check out the links in the description. And if you're working within a specific budget, you can visit aplaceformom.com to work with a senior living advisor at no cost to your family. They'll ask you questions about your budget care needs, and location to recommend communities based on your unique preferences. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for even more information. And if you have any advice or questions for other caregivers, go ahead and drop those in the comments. Thanks for watching.